Okay, we're going to fly the little Cub today from a non-towered airport. It's our local field in Tonasket, Washington. And we'll have to have simple communication as far as just letting people know where we are so that if anyone else is flying to or from the airport or within the pattern or close, they'll know we're here. Now, the problem with this airport is a standard pattern is not advised. The reason being that the hills on either side exceed the limitations to be able to have a standard pattern and be at 1000 AGL, which is where you have to be. Because some of those hills up there, if you're at 2400 feet, the runway being at 1200 feet, you're going to be kissing the sagebrush, so that's not going to work very well. And if you maintain AGL, you're going to be too high to make anything but a really fast approach and final turns, and that's going to endanger other people, so you don't want to do that. So we're just going to fly the pattern the way they want it done, which is normally straight in. So we're going to make our go around, come in from the south, enter the intersection of 3-3, and then we'll turn to the north and land on 3-3. So here we go. Let's have a go with this little guy. I like this plane. It's a neat plane. Okay, we'll give it full screen so we've got some good viewing here. Tonasket Piper November Charlie 659 Hotel, taking off 3-3. Tonasket. That should let anybody approaching the airport know that there's a plane taking off from 3-3. 3-3 is basically a northerly facing runway. Tonasket Piper November Charlie 659 Hotel, turning 180, adjacent runway pattern normal, Tonasket. This little guy has to be soloed from the rear seat. It's the same J3 that was used to train pilots during the war. They like to have them landed at a 3-point because of the amount of air traffic at the training facilities. They didn't want them tipping over on the nose when you had to brake suddenly for one of the other cadets. However, up here you sometimes don't have that luxury. Because of the steepness of the terrain surrounding the airport, you're normally coming in a little faster than what you could settle in for a nice slow 3-point at the proximal end of the runway in your touchdown. So normally I'll come in and maintain my appreciable altitude for the plane, and then as I finish my glide slope, I finish it just slightly above the touchdown point for a plane, let's say with flaps. And I'll carry it in a float and touch down in proximity to the terminal, then taxi out to the end of the runway and come back on the taxiway. A little safer. Because we have everybody flying off this. We've got ultralights, we've got helicopters, we've got all kinds of things. There's even a guy with a little private jet, so you've got a mix all the way up to about 2,000 feet AGL with all kinds of different aircraft. Now once I make this turn, I'll let them know what I'm doing again. Tonasket Piper November Charlie 659 Hotel, northbound, to intersect with 3-3 at 3 miles out for final. On approach now, Tonasket. Check for traffic. Keep those eyes moving. Should be on a swivel with your head. Tonasket, Piper November Charlie 659 Hotel. Entering final at 2400. That's 2400 Tonasket. Tonasket, Piper November Charlie 659 Hotel. On glide. Tonasket. Now here I'm using a little mushing to slow that aircraft down. I don't want to use a lot of slipping to do it. The reason being, it makes it really difficult if you're having to watch for other aircraft and slip at the same time. It's just a little safety thing with me. At this airport, I feel safer doing a series of mushes and allowing my airspeed to build again a little bit, and then putting it back up into a mush and slowing the plane that way. I try to keep it under 60 miles an hour on my glide. And that'll put me at a final point about here, where I'm going to kind of aim for that touchdown point that I would normally use, and then I'll use that for a point to begin my float. So at that point, I'm going to flare and carry it a bit nose high to where it wants to quit flying, and then I'm going to touch it down on a 2-point there, holding the nose down a little bit and beginning gentle braking, toe and heel, to keep the airplane straight, and allowing it a nice smooth taxi out to the end of the runway without heating the brakes up, flattening the tires, or any other major malfunction that I might incur. These planes, the military wanted you to do a serpentine taxi with them. As a civilian, I just, I do a little bit of a serpentine, but it's kind of a modified serpentine. As long as I've got a good idea of what's out there ahead of me, it'll be a fairly shallow serpentine. Sometimes I'll exaggerate it a little bit. Just do what's ever needed to be safe. Because if you're safe, the people around you are going to be safe, the other planes around you are going to be safe, and you've done your part. So, it's kind of a family thing. And you don't want to spend a whole lot of time on the taxiway. There are other planes that are going to want to use it, so you want to get your job done as quickly as possible while still maintaining that margin of safety. Again, toe and heel, toe and heel. They were a good little plane, and I use it to keep my skills sharp, so when I do get in a plane that's a little more ergonomically, shall we say, friendly, I don't get lazy. I don't give up knowing how to fly in order to pilot a more modern aircraft. And here's our axis way across now. We'll have to clear the runway visually. There again, we don't have a tower, so we can't expect any anybody to tell us, okay, go ahead, you know, kind of thing. So here we'll stop. And we'll let them know our intent. Tonasket Piper November Charlie 65905 Hotel. Crossing runway at intersection 3315. Clear. And clear. Crossing now. Now I'm going to check it again once we hit the runway. There. Never stop looking. Never stop looking. Get across the runway there and get the thing turned around and put it to bed. Go break the thermos out of the car and have a cup of coffee. Now we'll take it back on normal screen. There we go. Shut her down. A neat little plane. I just love that plane. They are so much fun to fly, you can't believe it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching.